The Diddy. The Diddy. Oh! Diddy done turned over tapes. Allegedly, with the Carters, and some freak off. And the Beyonce. High on the cocaine. And the tapes had jizz all over. I just didn't want to put my family's life on the line.
So you were worried about him coming to get you?
Yeah, like everybody else is.
It's 2020, y'all. Yeah. And it's different than when it was 2016. You know, the game has been elevated. As we can tell, there's no expense being spared. We had a black billionaire's lunch. Yeah.
The feds just dropped some shocking footage suggesting that Diddy has supposedly been helping Jay-Z control and manipulate Beyonce for years, and the proof they've shared is pretty intense. Rumors have been swirling for a while now that Jay-Z has been allegedly holding Beyonce back to keep her under his control. But here's the kicker. He's allegedly not doing it alone. His buddy Diddy is being accused of helping him out. On top of that, Diddy has already faced serious accusations from several women, including Cassie, claiming he's harmed them. So things are definitely about to get real messy. But first, make sure that you subscribe to our channel and smash that notification bell for more updates. Now let's dive in.
But what I've heard about them as a couple is that they've been living separate lives for a very long time. So they together, but they living separate.
Even though Jay-Z and Beyonce are seen as Hollywood's ultimate power couple, their relationship hasn't always been smooth sailing. Sure, they've got nearly $4 billion between them, a jaw-dropping mansion, and a ton of respect in the industry, but that's just scratching the surface. Behind the scenes, things haven't always been picture perfect, with more drama than you'd expect.
There are women who are supporting Cassie who maybe have some stories about you that might feel a bit similar. You need to be put on mute. This is not your time.
If you haven't been keeping up with the gossip about their love life, buckle up. It's been a wild journey with plenty of highs, lows, and some serious messiness. And let's not forget how their relationship had a pretty unconventional start. When they first met, Beyonce was still a teenager, while Jay-Z was in his 30s. Reflecting on those early days, Beyonce once shared in an interview, "I was 18 when we met, 19 when we started dating. There was no rush. No one expected me to run off and get married."
What is it about this marriage that's so special that you would fight this hard to save it?
Well, it's my soulmate. It's the person I love, you know. And you can be in love with someone. You can love someone and you're not. And if you haven't experienced love and you don't understand it and you don't have the tools to move forward, then you're gonna have complications. Period.
Beyonce and Jay-Z officially began dating when she was 19 and he was 31, and the big age gap had fans talking. Some even started speculating that Jay-Z might have been grooming her. But here's where things get even more complicated. There are some rumors that they might have started seeing each other before Beyonce was even legal, which definitely got people raising questions. Fans have also pointed out that one of Beyonce's timelines seems a little off. In one interview, she said they started dating when she was 19, but in another clip, she mentioned she was 20. The numbers just don't add up, and it makes you wonder how much of their love story we really know. Word on the street is that the reason Beyonce's timeline seems off is because she might be hiding something. And honestly, after all these years, it's probably tough to keep the story straight, which could explain why the dates keep changing. But it's not just the age difference that's raised eyebrows. From the start, people have been questioning the power dynamics between them. Sure, Beyonce was already making waves and on her way to superstardom, but Jay-Z, he was already a major force in the industry, with way more influence than she had at the time. From the very beginning, people were giving their relationship the side eye, questioning if things were really as perfect as they seemed, especially with the age gap and Jay-Z's power. But fast forward a few years and the dynamic shifted. Beyonce leveled up in a major way, becoming Hollywood's ultimate queen. I mean, she's not just a star, she is the star, holding the record for the most Grammy wins ever. Still, despite all her success, the side-eye never fully went away. Jay-Z kept finding himself under fire, with people accusing him of all kinds of things, even calling him a predator. Now, fast forward to the latest drama. Rumors are flying that Jay-Z may have used narcotics and substances to control Beyoncé. Suddenly, all those side-eye looks and wild accusations from the past don't seem so far-fetched anymore. It's starting to make sense why people were so suspicious all along. Plus, there's the fact that Jay-Z was Beyoncé's first serious relationship. She's even talked about how she didn't have a typical childhood or teenage years because she was so focused on her career. She said, "My teenage years were about the grind. My energy went into Destiny's Child and the dream of us getting a record deal and becoming musicians. If something wasn't helping me reach my goal, I decided to invest no time in it. I didn't feel like I had time to kiki or hang out. I sacrificed a lot of things and ran from any possible distraction." Beyoncé wasn't just 12 years younger than Jay-Z. She was also pretty inexperienced when it came to relationships. She mentioned how she spent so much of her teenage years working that she barely had time to date, which made their whole situation seem even more questionable.
You taught me so many things. I was 20 years old when we first started dating. You taught me how to be a woman. You taught me how to live. You taught me how to be a friend. You've given me so much in life. And this is not enough. It's not enough I can give you. I just want you to be happy. And every year, I'm just even more in love with you. And I want to spend every day of my life with you. Happy birthday. And I thank God for you every day.
Over time, the conversation shifted from, was she groomed, to, did Beyoncé feel stuck in this marriage? Now that she's older and has way more life experience, people are starting to wonder if she was really in control back then, or just a young girl who didn't fully understand what she was getting into. Those rumors, they turned out to be more than just gossip. Some insiders started spilling the tea, revealing that Beyoncé wasn't just feeling trapped, she was actually stuck. According to several sources, Jay-Z was allegedly obsessed with controlling her, keeping all the power, and basically running her life. She didn't have the freedom to live on her own terms. It's starting to seem like a major power move, and it's no surprise that people are rethinking the idea of their picture-perfect marriage. Recently, more people have started speaking out about Jay-Z's supposed obsessive control, and one of the most eye-opening stories came from someone claiming to be Beyoncé's former bodyguard. Now, it's obvious this guy isn't a fan of Beyoncé, because he had a lot to say about her relationship with Jay-Z. He didn't pull any punches, going straight for the throat and confirming what many had already suspected. Their marriage wasn't at all about love. It was more like a business arrangement.
He said, the objective of Bad Boy is to talent.
Jay, okay. That's why it's fuck Rock Nation. Hey. Wow.
I think everybody that knows Sean Carter knows that he will slump anyone in any relationship for $1.
Let's be real, with all these new revelations, their relationship is looking less like a fairy tale romance and more like a well-thought-out business move. The bodyguard really laid it out, saying that Jay-Z controlled everything, from Beyoncé's image to how she moved in the industry. It's starting to seem like her personal life was more about strategy and positioning than love. Beyoncé's former bodyguard once said, "Your relationship was a business relationship. Financial, to get to the top, to become billionaires. There's no love there." Well, this revelation was definitely jaw-dropping, but it didn't exactly send shockwaves through the fandom. Let's be real, this tea's been brewing for years. From the jump, people have been whispering that Beyoncé and Jay-Z's relationship wasn't exactly a fairy tale romance. Fans have been trying to convince themselves for ages that these two are madly in love, but the truth is, a lot of folks just don't buy it. Word on the street is that their marriage wasn't really about love. It was more like a calculated move to become Hollywood's ultimate power couple. And honestly, they pulled it off. It's hard to argue that anyone else in Hollywood holds more power than these two. But as time passed, fans started to question if their relationship was more about PR and building their brand than actual love. Just look at how they kept Jay-Z's cheating hidden for so long, only to reveal it through their music when the time was right. It's almost like they've been following a perfect PR playbook from the start. Hold up, because things just got even messier. The bodyguard who spilled all this tea didn't stop there. He went all in. He dropped a bombshell that took this whole saga to a new level. According to him, Beyoncé isn't staying with Jay-Z out of love or choice. Nope, he's allegedly pulling all the strings and keeping her on a tight leash. He's supposedly controlling every move she makes, leaving her with little room to make her own decisions. This drama just went from wild to downright scandalous, and we're not even at the peak yet. Think about it. A marriage built on clout, manipulation behind the scenes, and now it's looking like Beyoncé might not have as much control over her life as we thought. No one really knows for sure, but it's starting to seem like Jay-Z's been calling the shots for a long time. Oh, the bodyguard wasn't finished yet. This time, all eyes are on Jay-Z, and the tea he spilled might just leave you speechless. He hinted that Jay-Z could have been the one who introduced Beyoncé to illegal substances. Now, before anyone freaks out, let's not forget Jay-Z has been pretty open about his past as a substance dealer. So, the idea that he might have used substances to influence things, given his history, it's not the most far-fetched thing out there.
Okay, I get the threats, but you have to remember one thing. I know your deepest secrets. I know so much about you and what you've done. I know so much on how you got where you are, how you stepped on many people. Beyonce, how you guys ended Carrie Hilson's career because she said something about you.
Now don't get me wrong, I'm not saying Beyoncé is caught up in some substance-fueled lifestyle, so don't come for me. But let's be honest, Hollywood's party scene isn't exactly free from that kind of stuff. Plenty of celebs have dabbled in it at some point, even the ones you wouldn't expect. So while it sounds shocking, it's not exactly unheard of in the industry. Oh, and about those famous A-list parties, you know, the ones with all the wild stories that make their rounds, well, rumor has it that illegal substances are practically the party favors at these events. And we can't forget the bombshells Cassie dropped in her lawsuit, because that was a whole other mess. And don't even get me started on the craziness that happens when artists go on tour. That's a whole different level of wild. But hold on to that Cassie lawsuit for later. We're definitely coming back to it. Now, just to be clear, I'm not saying Queen Bey is involved with narcotics. But let's be real, substance use isn't exactly rare in Hollywood. And considering how tightly Beyoncé controls her image and stays so private, it wouldn't be surprising if any potential issues were kept under wraps. She's always been a master at keeping her personal life low-key, so if anything like that were going on, it wouldn't be shocking if it stayed hidden. The bodyguard basically confirmed what many of us have been side-eyeing about Queen Bey for a while. But hold up, because he's not the only one throwing shade at Jay-Z. Jaguar Wright has jumped into the mix too, and let me tell you, she's serving up the same kind of tea, hot and ready. Now, I know some people think Jaguar's just making stuff up to stay relevant, but here's the thing. She's never been hit with a lawsuit for slander or defamation by any of the celebs she's called out. You'd think if she was lying, someone would have taken legal action by now, right? But nope, it's been silent on that front. So either she's got some serious legal protection, or maybe, just maybe, she's actually telling the truth. And let's not forget, Jaguar Wright has been right before. She's been sounding the alarm about Diddy for years, and look how that's turning out. Spoiler, it hasn't exactly been pretty.
Jay-Z's hairstyle, because she know that she can get implicated. So if
she get the fucking bitch.
Over some takes that got her in it too, it makes sense.
I was going to the brunch, and they canceled that.
Now people are starting to connect the dots and take Jaguar's revelations more seriously because the tea she's been spilling might be hotter and more real than we first thought. Last year, she dropped some serious gossip about Will and Jada Smith, as well as Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade. But she didn't stop there. She turned her focus to Jay-Z and Beyoncé, and that's when she really dropped a bombshell. According to Jaguar, Jay-Z is so obsessed with keeping Beyoncé under his control that he allegedly has her on a constant supply of substances. Jaguar went even further, comparing Beyoncé's situation to Britney Spears, and she's calling for fans to start a Free Beyoncé movement. According to her, Beyoncé is a prisoner in her own marriage, feeling trapped and controlled. That's just crazy. But what's even crazier is the fact that Jay-Z himself has admitted to treating Beyoncé badly on purpose. And we're not even talking about the fact that he cheated on her. In his song, 444, he said, "I said, don't embarrass me, instead of be mine. That was my proposal for us to go steady. I seen the innocence leave your eyes. I still mourn for its death. And I apologize to all the women whom I toyed with your emotions, because I was emotionless." People also noticed something strange at the Grammys earlier this year when Jay-Z offered Beyoncé a drink, and she refused to take it. He seemed to struggle with holding back his frustration, especially with everyone watching. Now fans are going into full detective mode, speculating that he might have tried to slip something into the drink, which could explain why she turned it down. Let's be real, no one wants to be out of it on one of the biggest nights of their life. And just when you think this story couldn't get any wilder, rumors are swirling that Jay-Z didn't pull off this drugging Beyoncé thing alone. Nope, he allegedly had help from one of his friends. Any guesses as to who that might be? New reports are pointing to none other than Diddy as the main man behind the scenes. We all remember Cassie's shocking claims in her lawsuit against him, where she revealed how he allegedly kept her in a narcotic-induced state to control her. She said he'd either trick her into taking illegal substances or outright force them on her. According to the court documents, it was a pattern of manipulation. The document said Mr. Combs always supplied Ms. Ventura and the entourage with copious amounts of substances before and during events. Ms. Ventura was given ecstasy, cocaine, marijuana, and alcohol in excessive amounts during events, which allowed her to disassociate during these horrific encounters. It became commonplace to get IV fluids in the days after events to recover from the excessive substances pushed upon her. Ms. Ventura was required to dress up in lingerie for these events.
Combs' ex filed a multi-million-dollar lawsuit against him last November, accusing him of physical assault, drug trafficking. Combs adamantly denied everything in that lawsuit, but he did settle that lawsuit with Ventura the very next day. But what ended up happening? That lawsuit set off an avalanche of litigation with multiple people, both men and women, coming forward with their own complaints about Combs' conduct.
The Fed said the same thing in their indictment documents, where they wrote, "Freak-offs occurred regularly, sometimes lasted multiple days, and often involved multiple commercial workers. During freak-offs, Combs distributed a variety of controlled substances to victims, in part to keep the victims obedient and compliant. Sometimes, unbeknownst to the victims, Combs kept videos he filmed of victims engaging in intimate acts with commercial adult workers. After freak-offs, Combs and the victims typically received IV fluids to recover from the physical exertion and substance use." I know it's pretty wild, right? But as the saying goes, birds of a feather flock together, so maybe it's not that surprising after all. For a while now, there have been rumors in the industry that Jay-Z might not be as squeaky clean as we've been led to believe. Behind that billionaire image, there could be a darker side that would shock us all. Remember when Cassie's lawsuit grabbed everyone's attention? Well, Jaguar Wright didn't hold back either, claiming that Jay-Z might actually be even worse than Diddy. The difference? Jay-Z has been much smarter and more careful about hiding his dark side. It's like he's playing the long game, and we've all been buying into the perfect image he's been selling. Jaguar once said in an interview, Sean Carter is worse. Oh man. He's smarter. He's patient. He's not sloppy. He's been lining up people he calls friends and stepping to the side while they get hit by the guillotine for 30 freaking years. For a long time, fans have been giving the friendship between these two powerhouses some serious side-eye, wondering what's really going on. Let's be honest, there's always been a bit of shady business surrounding their bromance. They were so close that Diddy once said only his mom and Jay-Z were allowed to call him by his real name, Sean.
Person. Oh, go on. And I call him Sean. That's Jay-Z. We call each other Sean.
Okay.
Yeah. Nobody else could call me Sean.
He's the only person who's Sean approved.
There's not a single person that
outside of family.
That should be outside of my mother.
Okay,
That should be calling me. Yeah, that should be calling me Sean.
Rumor has it at some point, Diddy and Jay-Z allegedly got involved in some questionable stuff, if you know what I mean. Now, I'm not saying that it's true, but the streets have been buzzing, and people love to gossip about these two. On top of that, Diddy's business has been out there for a while, and it's not just Cassie's lawsuit. There have been whispers about his secretive dealings for years, even before all the recent drama. And let's not forget, 2 years ago, Jaguar Wright gave a jaw-dropping interview where she straight up claimed that Diddy and Jay-Z had more than just a friendship. She hinted that there was something more going on between them. Then there's that time 50 Cent posted a video of him on stage with Diddy and Jay-Z, catching the moment when Diddy playfully slapped Jay-Z on the butt. So allegedly, this isn't just about Diddy possibly helping his best friend intoxicate his wife. It's about him helping his supposed fling partner intoxicate his wife. Yeah, there's a lot going on here. Fans are quick to leave comments saying, I'm not a Beyoncé fan, but I do believe she's on something, and Jay-Z keeps her on something. Come to find out, she only performs maybe once every 5 years. Her fans really don't get to see her. She may make an appearance once a year, but that's not a lot. So I believe that she may be on something. She's a celebrity that you don't see a lot. There were other comments like, always knew I was right about Jay-Z. We always knew about Diddy. but I always felt like Jay-Z had a lot of secrecy with him, and I'm not talking about illegal substance dealing either. I'm talking about exactly what is being shown. And to me, that elevator incident will always be about her hatred for him. I feel like that was Solange's way of saying she was disgusted with him over something. It must be something that occurred regularly because Beyonce sat there like nothing was happening. This is wild, but I want to hear what y'all think about Diddy and Jay-Z getting exposed like this. Let me know your thoughts. That's all for today. We hope you enjoyed that video, and if you did, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and smash that notification bell for more episodes.